Welcome, Artey Williams, to the Climate Couch here in Bath Theatrical. Fantastic establishment.
Awesome.
You're the second or third on the couch that we've had, but the first musician. So again, the object will be for us to explore a little bit about your work and your activities. So maybe if you'd like to introduce.
Yeah, sure. Well, obviously I'm a singer-songwriter. Well, not obviously, but I am a singer-songwriter. And there's one particular thing that I've been working on and completed last week. It's a song which I remember from my earliest years of childhood. And I remember I was born in a street called Cross Street. And we lived at the top of the hill, and it went right the way down to a bus stop at the bottom of the hill. And there was only two buses that stopped at that bus stop, and there was number 23 and number 24.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember with my mum, I was standing there by the gate, and I saw this lady walking down the hill, and she walked down the hill every day. And I said to my mum, "Why does that lady walk down the hill?" And she said, quite respectfully, "That's Mrs. Davis." And she goes down to the bus stop to wait for her son. And I said, "Well, why doesn't her son come back up the hill with her?" Mm. And she said that, "I'm afraid her son went to war, but he didn't come back." And she goes down the hill twice a day to meet the number 24 bus to see if he's on it. And that was my earliest memory of my childhood. I may come in a month's time, so I've had another earliest memory. These things happen with songwriters. But I thought if I could write a song about that instance, and I thought her memory would live on in some sort of way. And I've called her, for the sake of the song, Sally, and her son, I've called him Kenny. Okay. Wrong names, but for the sake of the song. And he's called Sally Davis. She walked down Cross Street. Kenny walked down Cross Street to get the 24. He was travelling to the station. He was going off to war. Just doing his duty, going to enlist. Kenny walked down Cross Street. His mother hugged and kissed. Some boys went out, some men came back. Not Kenny, just neighbors Bill and Jack. Twice daily Sally waited, years after the war. And she walked down Cross Street just to meet the 24. She walked down in all weather, scarf around her head, a tear-stained letter in her pocket, saying that her son's feared dead. wanted was Kenny coming back, and his chance to shake the hands on their neighbours Bill and Jack. Having done his duty, all in the name of the King, just to see him walk across the street and his arms around her flame. Some boys went out, some men came back, but not Kenny, just neighbors Bill and Jack. No, not Kenny, just neighbors Bill and Jack.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So how did that? I can say that's quite an emotional. Is a lot of it.
I don't know
how what sort of
it
drives
is. It
you?
is emotional, and I don't know this. When I get as I get older, a lot of the things that are important to me in the memories of my life seem to come to the forefront, and because I write songs, I think what a wonderful way of just expressing that. I've been thinking a lot about my father recently. He went to war at the D-Day landings, and there was so much that he went through as a 19, 20-year-old that I knew very little about. And so I did another song about that for him, and things. He wasn't a man of many words, so to be able to write a song about him in descriptive words was quite important for me, and to express a bit about him. And I've written a couple of those, So, but that, it's just the emotion of what that woman went through, Mrs. Davis. And I didn't fully understand it then, but I interpret it in such a way now. I think that's a remarkable story of a remarkable woman, and the story needs to be told in some shape or form.
As you say, and it was that day in, day out.
Absolutely.
Probably, I'm sure, whether it's sunny, whether it's raining, it was.
Yeah. Always, you could
set almost all that,
and you could set your clock by it, because she'd meet in a bus timetable. The number 24 had got to come in at a certain time, and she'd be there, come hail or shine.
So that's today, I guess. Going back, how did you start with the guitar? Was it? How did that journey from your side, the musical journey, start?
I started going to a church youth group, and there was one guy there who played fantastic guitar, and I was always in envy of him. And we formed a little singing group together, and I think there were about 12 of us, and we went to this one particular venue in the middle of Birmingham, and it was quite a smart venue. And someone had asked us to sing, and there was about 12 of us, and we stood in a line, and he was at the end with his guitar, and we all sang in whatever it was, I can't remember the song, but we all sang in complete unison.
Yeah.
And he was, and I thought, well, it all seemed a little bit distorted, and everybody politely loved it, and but we went away and I think, we need another guitarist at least, and we need some people that can sing harmony vocals and things. And so really, I suppose that's where it started. I went out and bought a guitar and taught myself to play. And
on the back of that almost?
On the back of that,
okay.
yeah. Because it was something that was necessary, and to give me a little bit more impetus and commitment to learn to play guitar. I wasn't musical at all. No one in my family was musical.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so it was interesting, yeah.
And then when did you first take to the stage then, reference to many years later, or when you're still quite young, linked to the church or the other activities?
Well, it was linked to the church. We formed ourselves into a folk gospel. I was going to say a folk gospel band, but they didn't call them bands in those days. It was a folk gospel group. And we actually toured south of France and northern Spain.
Oh, right.
And got kicked off a beach at Biarritz.
Oh, did you?
Because it was in hearing distance of Frank Sinatra's room in the main hotel. So the gendarmerie
it's got good hearing.
Politely asked us to move off. Yeah. And we made a little record then, but it was just a self-funded effort. But we had fun doing that, and so that's how that started. And then years later, I circumstances changed. People in the group went their own ways, and but then I started singing solo, and eventually moved to Liverpool, of all musical places, and developed my skills there before moving down to Dorset in March 2019.
Oh, okay.
And then it seems to have taken off again, kicked on again from there on in. So.
And do you collaborate a lot then? So as part of that journey in Liverpool and elsewhere, or was it then just you and your guitar going to gigs or events, or? Yeah,
in the main at Liverpool, it was involved with the church. I was an organizer of concerts and events from the church. But down in Dorset, when we moved, it was quite specific. I was asked to play at the Tolpuddle Martyrs Festival, the guitar, and it was this guitar actually that I took, and they were having a little service in the little Methodist chapel there, and I met this woman who was the minister of the Methodist conference, bigwig really, and I used to call her my big cheese, and she got a sense of humour, so it didn't matter. but so I met her, found out that she was a really wonderful writer, poet, and I said to her one day, she lives in Matlock, so a long distance between us, and I said, well, do you mind if I try and put some of your poetry to music? And she said, oh, I'd love that. So we did. We eventually put 8 tracks together on an album, which was funded by the Methodist Church of the United Kingdom, which was really surprising for me. But we released it, and it was called Stories to Tell. And then there's a new album, Dandelion Days, which is coming out at the beginning of March, and that's another collaboration with her from 8 writings of hers formed into songs for that. And
do you play at the Central Hall? 'Cause I know there's a big Central Hall in London, isn't there, for the Methodist?
Not yet. We're planning to take it out, because after the first album, COVID came along and it curtailed everything. And I only met her once I've still only met her once in person since that Tolpuddle Martyrs thing. The rest has been done on Zoom or telephone calls or whatever. But we're planning to, after the release, we're going to a church in Leeds, and we'll put on a concert there whereby she will talk about her poetry and the words that she wrote, and then I will sing live the songs that we compose from her writings. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. So that starts off in Leeds. We haven't set a concrete date yet, but it's definitely going to happen.
And is this something that you've done full time? So from being a musician, is it something that is a full-time occupation, or have you always had to do other things in between? Because again, trying to understand those who are starting the career, and I know others also, it's not always an easy path, is it?
No, it's not. No,
to sustain.
But fortunately, I am retired now. I've been retired a long time, and I retired a long time before retiring age. Hence my youthful looks and. But I was a surveyor in Liverpool. I had my own surveying company.
So you did have a separate...
Yeah. But by the time we moved down to Dorset, then I was completely footloose and fancy free, and so I'd got no other hindrances. So I just ploughed myself into music. Yeah.
I mean, for those coming into the industry, we'll sort of talk about the climates at Christmas and hopefully a successful day in the professional studio. But those also coming into the industry now, what are those challenges you say? Because it sounds like it's a very difficult to be a full-time musician.
It is.
It sounds to be an awfully difficult task.
It absolutely is, because there is so much talented musicianship going throughout the country. You know, wherever you go now. I mean, I found it here in Frome. Such a plethora of talent, and it's not as if you suddenly turn up as Paul McCartney, who's got a talent, and there's an opportunity for Paul McCartney to sing in this and sing in that. You compete with some other really good musicians and singers, and so. I mean, if you look at open mic nights in whatever area, whether it's in Dorset or whether it's in Devon or here in Frome, there's lots of people involved in there, and the talent is staggeringly good. Staggeringly good, yeah.
Does social media, do you think, with your TikTok, your Instagram and others, I guess there's a route to market, maybe I mean, energising the market to get more involved, maybe?
Yeah, I think it is. I think you don't always know who's watching or who's listening. And so I mean, it is a matter of now, you know, people have to be out there, making other people aware of what you do, and so it is, you know, I mean, if people have, you know, got school, educational distractions or work or any other things they need to do, raising a family, then that is difficult, because, you know, it is a matter of persevering and pushing on, you know. But you know, as you listen to a good many people who have made it, that's what they did too. You know, there's no sort of direct, easy route. You know, or no particular equation equals so and so. It's a matter of you have to keep on doing it. You know.
Yeah. Now we know Frome has a very vibrant music. Either lots of different groups and genres, and one is around the Frome Music Network, which Sarah, who is in the audience, who will drag in to have a conversation shortly when we start talking about, as you say, the climates at Christmas, hopefully trying to help to promote the musicians, and hopefully trying to help to, from my personal view, link that into the climates as well, and make that more visible to people, and hopefully emotionally connect, whether it's with film or whether it's with music. So you've now got a day as part of that prize and overall winner of that. You've now got a day in the professional studio here in Frome. What does that competition mean, and is it important, and is it the sort of thing that we need to do more of? Don't know, question. And also the prize, it was hoped that would be a bit of a game changer reference to musicians' lives or opportunities. What are your views on?
It is, because the Bert Jansch studio has got a professional reputation, and so for that to be,, 'be, 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 that is incredible, because it's not easy to get out there and record yourself in a professional manner. You know, a lot of people just do it on the iPhone now, and why you know, technical abilities of an iPhone are great. You know, you can get a good reproduction, but to get tracks and vocals and backing vocals and extra guitars and percussions within that studio, a professional studio like this one, that's an immense opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to it now, and to sort of take the opportunity of getting as much out of that visit that is possible, you know, and I hope to come away with the basics and the bones of 5 songs, maybe. You know, I'll go for as many as I can, you know, to get real value out of it, because you're then with professional sound engineers and who know what they're doing, and the acoustics in a place like that is purpose built for that occasion. So it's an immense opportunity for someone, and I was so fortunate to win it. I mean, because the standard on the night was immense. It really was. It was very, very high.
Right, we've just located Sarah. She's now dressed. She will join us on the couch. Hey!
Thank you very much.
Well done. You just happened to be passing. Wonderful.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Could you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Sarah Vian, and I'm a sort of lapsed singer-songwriter, and I also host the Free Music Network. That's probably relevant to today, isn't it?
I think that's very well. I'm not sure about lapsed, to be fair. You're fantastic. I mean, you know, I think the more of you we need, don't we? Reference to music and energy and vitality. So part of this conversation, hopefully, you're going to share your words of wisdom about the Free Music Network today, and what we're going to do in future, and how we build on opportunities like Artey's had, for example, with the professional studio. As you continue to grow, we hope your network.
Do you think I should?
Our network.
Maybe I should start with the intention, because remind myself, because so back in 2017 I released my debut album, and after doing the sort of grand launch, I realised how much effort it was going to be to do everything myself, you know, like even getting gigs, and then managing the tour, doing a PR campaign when I release something, you know, all of that to make it successful. You know, basically the independent musician has to act as if they're working with a commercial label. So they've either got to do crowdfunding and raise enough money to pay all of those professionals, or they've got to do it all themselves. And it is just so overwhelmingly unachievable that I just kind of thought, I've either got to work out a way to smash this or just not bother. Hence the lapsed, because I haven't worked out how to smash it yet. So I basically set up the Free Music Network, which was originally the Free Music Industry Network, because I wanted serious people to be turning up, and we were getting all sorts of professionals turning up actually initially, people that did mastering, and you know, not just musicians, and then I think I just thought, well, you know, maybe I should be a bit honest with myself. It's a small town, so we took the industry out and we became the Free Music Network, just to be more inclusive. And the intention was really just to build community so that we can all find the people and resources that we need to kind of smash it, because I just believe that we've all got strengths and weaknesses, and we're all struggling alone, and we just need to pull together to do something really fantastic and smash it, which is hopefully where you and your climate change mission comes in useful.
The change mission thing, yes, as you say, it's part of, because it's all about connecting, isn't it? Connecting, sharing and inspiring, hopefully, whether it's music, film or others. We've got to find a way of sharing our knowledge.
Connect, share and inspire, we could use that, couldn't we?
Exactly. Connect, share and inspire, that's what it's all about. And you've certainly done that, I think, with the network, and we'll hopefully take that forward. And obviously Artey with the work that he's doing.
Yeah, so this is quite exciting, you know, the fact that you launched this songwriting competition with the, you know, with the record it at the Burt Jansch studio, you know, so this is going to be a really interesting PR campaign, I think, both for local musicians and the Burt Jansch studio, because I, as a local musician, don't really know anything about it. So I'm quite excited about this project, so well done, thanks.
My pleasure. 2nd of March. So if you're around, I think there's a few people that can come down and and view, I think.
That's when you're recording.
So certainly I should be going down. We'll do a little interview before.
Under there? No.
Yes, we'll do it.
Is this my mic or both?
There is a mic we're sharing.
Okay.
So when I speak, I will need it. When you speak, you will need it.
Hello.
There we are. Look at that. Fun.
Yeah,
We've connected. Have we shared and inspired?
Yeah, we've connected and we've shared, and yeah, that's the thing. We're looking for inspiration, aren't we? Because it's so easy in a small town to, you know, just get uninspired and think, God, I need to go and live in LA.
But I don't think with the. I mean, that's why you got to think. So the Climates at Christmas should be a global music competition. The Climate Film Festival is an international, because there's no reason why little old Frome can't be a global, dominating, enabling entity. I think, you know, you look at lots of other competitions and lots of other events that are out there, badged as global, badged as international. And that's what I thought when I did the Frome International Climate Film Festival, and hopefully with the music one. Why not? Why not? You've got a global audience. You've got can live stream. You can hopefully then provide people that opportunity to get onto that global. And I know it's not easy.
Well, when I first moved to Frome, you know, I just recognised the profound community spirit here. And it did enable me to actually find the people and resources to even, you know, record and release my EP and album. So that was an achievement in itself. And I think that profound community spirit is something that is showing the world, you know, how to do it a bit, because it's quite easy to realise, you know, not, you know, forget that community spirit out there is quite rare, isn't it? And, you know, I do believe it is the Holy Grail, actually. So I just need to get out more, probably. But another thing, when I first moved to town and I was still inspired and loving it, I was kind of fantasising about us being a sort of Greenwich Village in Somerset, you know, like, so, you know, because everybody's I mean, that's another thing, everybody's like writing books and releasing albums and stuff. Again, you kind of feel like you're a bit swamped in it, instead of, yeah, I need to get regularly inspired.
I think we also just need to have a bit of fun, don't we?
Yes.
We've got to have fun, and we've got to be inspired at the end of the day. Artey, is there anything you'd like to add to, perhaps then you may be able to play us something as we finish the interview?
I was just, the original concept, I went along to the open mic that you organised at St Leonard's in Marston Bigot. And,
have you got one? Has he got a mic or not?
He's got a mic, yeah.
Have I?
Oh, this is mine, is it?
You are now in you're now in control of the mic.
Yeah, I went along there on a Sunday afternoon and met you for the first time.
Yeah.
And there was an amazing energy with you, and that responded into the open mic session. And it was fabulous venue for acoustics and an opportunity to sing in a place like that. But then I automatically found this camaraderie. You know, it was a matter of let's all get together and let's all help each other. It wasn't a competition about it. It was just taking up the opportunity. And I thought, well, and I was so impressed by that. I continued coming. I know people say, well, why do you keep coming an hour and a half's journey? You know. And it's never an arduous thing. It's never an arduous task to come over here, because the response you get is just always consistent and a genuine desire to make something happen, you know, for the collective people. Yeah, so that's why I keep coming.
Very good. Any other comments from you, Sarah, or we've covered the ground?
Vive la Révolution.
On that note, we may need to just leave that. Artie, was there anything else you'd like to?
No, I think that's it's been said now.
Yes, that's on that bombshell, as they say.
Right,
we shall leave that.
Well, in an arty way, not violent.
Yeah, this is a non-violent, exactly. Connect,
make art, not war.
Connect, share, and inspire is what we need to do. Because remember, we're all here to help each other, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Anyway, Artie, would you like to play us out with something? Do you have something to...
Yeah, I said that I'd been writing songs about the memory of my dad, or the fading memory of my dad. He passed this world back in '94, so a long time ago, but I still remember things about it. And this one's called I Wish I'd Asked You More. How old were you in the war then? How old were you in the war? Were you friends with you in the war then? I ought to have asked you before, but you really offered to tell me, and I barely thought to inquire, on which beach did you land in Normandy when you came under enemy fire? When you came under enemy fire. In the landing craft, what did you think? Could you swim with all your kit on? Were you worried when the ramp went down? Did you think you'd all be gone? But you really offered to tell me, and I barely thought to inquire, on which beach did you land in Normandy when you came under enemy fire? When you came under enemy fire. When the bullet passed right through your arm, did you make an awful sound? Were your friends around to pick you up as you lay there on the ground? But you really offered to tell me, and I barely thought to inquire, on which beach did you land in Normandy when you came under enemy fire? When you came under enemy fire. How old were you when it ended? How old at the end of the war? On which beach did you land in Normandy when you came under enemy fire? When you came under enemy fire. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So thank you for travelling all the way up from Bridport to join us on the couch, and Sarah for dropping in, even if you didn't have a hat on or anything else, but to tell us all about the Free Music Network.
This is really good. Well done.
It is.
Very much
Yeah.
appreciated, and hopefully we can get more of you musicians on the couch in the right way to tell us your tunes and to help to promote you. So,
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Thanks, James.
Excellent.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.